Do you ever just load into a multiplayer server and immediately find something cool? Because it seems like we may have just done that here on Cuatro Colinas. There is a level 5 wild boar, 149 to 179, that's a guaranteed diamond, right out here in front of us. So our loadout for today, I tried to pick a kind of unique loadout. We have the 6.5 for our big game weapon, that is the gun that came with Cuatro Colinas, and I just saw it, of course, I can't believe that spooked. Asking for a time change to 2 AM, I wanted to get that shot off. What a way to not do at all what we wanted to do. Now, of all things to spook on Cuatro Colinas, wild boar would be pretty high on the list of ones that aren't that big a deal. So long as the time doesn't get changed to 2 AM all of a sudden, we should be able to get this guy. He's, quite frankly, in range now, and the only reason we didn't shoot him immediately when we had spotted him out there was due to the 6.5. It is a little underpowered, and I just wanted to make sure that we'd get the shot through to a lung. Now that he is alerted, of course he's through a tree, that should get him. He was right at 150, starting to go down, so I think we're all set, and didn't even get to explain why we're here on Cuatro, because before I could even do the intro, I turned and there's that level 5 wild boar. So I mentioned I wanted to come up with a kind of unique loadout for this video to actually look at our inventory as we run up here. We're running with the Cacciatore 12 gauge. Of course, we have the 6.5, the weapon that comes with Cuatro Colinas, the 22 250, and the 22 AR. I just wanted to go out here for kind of a casual hunt. So often on stream I'm asked, you know, which game do you like better, Call of the Wild or Classic, or Call of the Wild or Way the Hunter? And often my answer is it sort of depends on the time of year. When it's real life hunting season, one thing that I typically want to do after a long day of hunting is jump onto Call of the Wild and just, you know, kind of shoot whatever's out there. And in this case, whatever was out there was a guaranteed diamond wild boar. So before anything happens, I'm going to claim him. 157.21, he is a max weight, which is kind of interesting. Left lung shot there, 146 meters. Probably makes him our biggest one that we would have in the lodge. And the only reason that he is would be that a couple of weeks back on a Medved stream, we kinda accidentally, with the 44 lever action, shot one through the side and into the brain. That one would have been max score, so nice to get a little bit of a replacement to that. And what a bizarre start to this hunt. So yeah, I wanted to just come out here and kind of, you know, whether it's ibex, mouflon, wild boar, red deer, whatever's in front of us, just kind of go for it with this unique loadout. And we start with a massive diamond. Now another thing that's out here on Cuatro would be European hare. We've got those, we've got pheasants, a couple of opportunities for Shadow to actually retrieve things today, and based on our Yukon hunt where we tried to do that and immediately we had the bug where Shadow was kind of just like circling around us, gonna be nice to be able to bring this back. 5.13 gold, just a little bonus skill as we pass between lakes here. So anyway, now that things have kind of calmed down a little bit, it is a red deer drink time on this server, and I thought while we're here, we might as well go and look for them. So we're in the southeast part of the map right now, looking like, I thought he was maybe on a 4-wheeler, but that's actually the outlook icon, so we're all good. We're gonna go ahead and try to pop this guy, 218 to 264. One of my absolute favorite racks, and actually one thing I just thought of when we fired that shot. We're okay there, it looks like we got the lungs, but the 6.5 is a little flatter shooting than pretty much any other, say 4 to 8 rifle in the entire game. So gotta be careful about too much of a hold over there. Definitely ended up shooting it in the spine, but looks like we lucked out. I was wondering why Shadow was barking too. So we were just on Yukon, we know how this works. Unfortunately, wolves in multiplayer kind of just get stuck in place. So I guess we'll just shoot this one just for the heck of it since it's right in front of us. And we'll make sure there's not anything crazy standing up here. If there is, I'm trying to remember if we've ever successfully dealt with that. I want to say if you leave render and come back, they'll go back into normal roaming, so we could feasibly track one down or whatever, but looks like in this case nothing to worry about. Definitely not too bad. Gotta think 220s for this guy? 226? Double lunged him, that is something I don't expect to see a ton from the 6.5. It was kind of due to that angle, and you can see we were close. Just a little bit below the spine, but now that we know that, and luckily got away with one, should be good to aim just a little bit lower. Now this is kind of the reason that I wanted to come to Cuatro Colinas today. Just the ability to head out here and have a whole bunch of ibex, whether it is the rondas, the thitties we may go after, we may go and take a look at the Grados as well. Just the opportunity to go for a number of these things. Now that one kind of moved funny as we went for that shot. Couldn't quite get another one in him, and frankly with the 6.5, I'm not so sure that one goes down. So luckily, we got the bigger of the two, and I think, did he even drop there? He did, so a better placed shot, and no doubt we get the other one, but at least we got the first one we went for. Actually, hunting pressure would indicate we got both of them. This guy was an 85 scoring silver, double long dash shot straight through the shoulder blade, and I'll be curious to see, this was no doubt a flesh hit, I thought. Now we got non-vital. I am going to be intrigued to see how that happened. It almost has to be like a shot right along the side. Oh, it ducked into it. Would have been a 79 scoring silver, so still, the better of the two we made a better shot on. But I think that intestine hit is the only reason that actually brought him down. So, Shadow's barking, there's probably a stuck wolf around here somewhere, but oh, they're just standing right there. I don't think there's anything here we need to worry about. Now that's looking a little bit better. Up to 94 for him. I think 107 or somewhere in there is diamond, so just a nice gold potentially. And I want to say that's going to be a decent shot. He's going down way slower than the last. I don't know what else that could be other than lungs though, so guess we'll go find out. Can't quite see the impact blood from here, but it is a gold, and we did get a long shot. We were kind of far forward there, just clipped the far long, and that explains it. Didn't get double long this time, didn't get the drop shot, but a slightly better one. We're gonna go ahead and swing around this lake, see if anything special is over in here, and then I think we'll go south of here. That one looks decent. A max estimate 4 this time, 230 meters, so this may be a bad idea, but I want to test this. We're gonna, and of course he turns this way and doesn't make it any easier, we're gonna basically not aim high at all, maybe just a touch, but I want to see how flat shooting this is. So if we go like center shoulder, something like, oh boy, something like that, insta dropped him. So was it just double lung or did it dip into the heart? Because you would think there'd be a little bit of drop, but like I said, I believe it's the flattest shooting rifle in the game. The flattest shooting big game rifle almost certainly. Not too bad for what is also arguably the weakest class 4 to 8 rifle, heart, and double lung. So yeah, we aimed, maybe here, 230 meters, 0 for 150, dipped down a little bit, straight into the heart, double lunged it. Not too bad, 95 score. Let's go down south maybe and look for some southeasterns. Well, finding these guys is one thing. Finding a decent one has turned out to be a little bit more difficult, but this max estimate 4 just walked out, 88 to 100, and I think he at least has a chance. I'm pretty sure 89 or maybe 90 is diamonds for them, so we're looking at around 260 meters maybe. And even though we just tested it, gonna 0 for 300, keeping it kind of towards the bottom part of the chest, and I'm gonna say that punched into a lung as well. So could we start off with a max weight diamond boar and get a diamond southeastern Spanish ibex in the process as well? I think there's a real chance at it. And then I'm going down right back here. Is he going to be enough? I think he's maybe going to get there because of the tip-to-tip spread. Let's see. Helps if we click the button correctly. Oh, he's going to, I was going to say troll us. I guess technically not. 89.48. Where diamond is 89.68. Can't complain. I mean, like I said, we killed that max weight boar to start the hunt. And that's 0 for 300. We aimed, I feel like, basically bottom of the chest. It almost feels safer to 0 for 150. We'll see if that ends up mattering. But I think the range is 74 to 87 kilos, something like that. He's barely into the max weight range. Nearly a diamond still. And you can see on the true score, there's not much to it. It's horn length, overall spread, and circumference. And I guess it's not tip-to-tip spread, but I would assume we're looking at the greatest spread between the horns. It basically is guaranteed to be tip-to-tip spread, or almost that anyway. Now this has the potential, at least, to be another answer to a question I get fairly often, which is kind of what is the list of species that can be a diamond below the maximum weight estimate, and southeastern Spanish ibex are one of those species. This is 61 to 74 kilo, almost the same estimate, 87 to 98, and we're looking at right around 300 meters, so that 6.5 round is going to find its mark, and whether or not that particular one makes diamond, I think it still can illustrate the point, is going to be really close, and we just looked at how few factors there are in the score. So you get one that's got just a little extra width to it, maybe slightly longer horns, you can easily crack that 88.68 or 89.68, whatever it was, and have a pretty lightweight ibex make diamond. And this one is, without a doubt, wider set than the bigger four, but he's going to have, lesser circumference measurements. So let's see. Yeah, that's a diamond at 9.68. Now he's nearly the same weight. He's a half a kilo lighter. Did I say 9.68? 90.68. Important to enunciate. But that's what I was talking about. You can, with these ibex specifically, get these, I guess I'll call them oddities in the true scores, but they're not that odd. They happen a lot, where, slightly more horn length, slightly more overall spread, and you've got a diamond below the maximum possible weight estimate. So, pretty cool. 2 diamonds now today. 1 completely max weight, 1 not even in the max weight range. Now, part of the point of today's video, as I mentioned, was just to come to a map where I knew we'd be able to find a lot of animals in good-sized groups, and just, go for a casual hunt, and still have a chance of getting diamonds, and thus far, we've gotten 2, but the other side of it is that we did bring a unique loadout, and I think, including using the 22 to alert things like our wild boar, we fired everything up until this point, other than our 22-250, so taking a roe deer down with that. It is roe deer drink time, maybe we can go get 1 more of them, and then I think we'll probably take our boar back to the trophy lodge. But as for this guy, little 56 scoring silver, double lunged him with the 22-250. Seeing some good performance out of these rifles today, but we'll see if we can find 1 more roe deer around here. And not only did we find 1 more roe deer, a decent roe deer buck, 63 to 74 should make gold, and maybe if we do this quickly, a chance at a heart shot. He actually calmed back down, so just gonna move around here a little bit. Could use the 22, but he's close enough to see us. I'll let him take 1 more step if he will. And surprisingly, that didn't punch into the heart. Now, we've maybe done that with the 22-250 before, and now we get into this situation where we have a chance to save it, but it's gonna be really, oh my goodness, these irons. We got that. I've never even fired the 22-250 with the irons. Boy, had I known they were like that, I wouldn't even taken the scope off. It worked, largely because we just pointed in a direction and shot. Yeah, that just didn't have the penetration to reach the heart, frontal, liver, stomach, intestines, with the absolute microwave on top of that gun for our iron. 71 scoring gold. And that is a way to wrap up this hunt. I can't believe that just happened. The fact that we hit the vitals is nuts. Let's jump back to the lodge and take a peek at our wild boar. And go figure, just recently, we added a diamond black spotted feral pig from Emerald Coast to the wall right here. That one was a 152. I think maybe our second biggest diamond feral pig. We've got a new diamond boar, a 154 there from September of 2020, and a 149 from April of 2020. We'll replace that with a 157. Not too bad. And as far as I know, visually they're going to be the exact same because there's no true tusks or anything like that. But it is nice. We lucked out. The one on the left is the brown fur type. The one on the right is light brown. They look a little different. They have a little bit of a different score. We got our biggest one ever on Cuatro Colinas literally to start the hunt. And the best news is, I think, that wasn't the only significant kill of the video. We got that diamond ibex as well. So many times, we'll have something like that. Over on Yukon Valley, for instance, we actually had back-to-back trolls in our last hunt there. I always, hope that when we start a video with something decent, we can find something later on down the line, because obviously that decent animal, if it's the only thing, ends up in the thumbnail. So glad we got the diamond ibex as well. Really fun hunt out there on Cuatro Colinas. Accomplished our goal of going for a casual hunt and still getting something cool. And we'll see what we can do next time we head out there on that map. But anyway, that's going to do it for this video. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.